Welcome back, you guys. Okay, I have let my house get back to bad, and that's fine because I have had a bad time of it lately. You can see my luggage, we've just thrown it down there. I did do some laundry, but I haven't folded any laundry because that seemed insane. Also, that's insane. My cinematography skills, sorry, my what is it called? Camera. Oh my God. We're off to a really good start today. My camera didn't want to flow nice and evenly for me. And so everything's just herky jerky and we're all going to be okay. Let's just take a deep breath and, let us spiral over something different. Just like a cute little spiral though, like a dainty spiral. I need one. I just need this. So, I did clean my house before we left for the funeral. Then I came back and I was like, not going to do anything for a long time. Now I'm showing you my coffee bar, but it turns out this is not relevant to anything. I don't clean this. I don't get around to it. I start negotiating things off of my to-do list so fast. I give up so quickly on this. It was phenomenal. I almost was like, could I get away with just half a kitchen? Just doing half of a kitchen? Would they be okay with that? Don't worry, I do the whole kitchen, which is kind of a spoiler, but don't know what to tell you. But look, Hot Sauce Man is out and about. Look at that little man being so cute. He's like super into being out in the main area now because he just cannot get over the fact that we left for so long. And Sweet Potato is obsessed with me, rightfully so. But this is the starting point, you guys. Yes, I will do the cat food thing, but that requires like effort and training, and I'm not about that life. This room still hasn't changed because nobody goes in there anymore. And like my nesting spot is really, you know what? I love that it looks like this because I needed it. I needed that zone so desperately. Okay, let's start cleaning. First things first, that is half of a thing of heavy cream. It turns out that went sour while we were gone. And so we set it on the counter as a reminder, and there it was, still on the counter, which is pretty gross. But we need to do dishes first. I did the dishes before I left. I haven't done dishes since I came home, though. And that's not great. Like we've been washing dishes as we've needed them. And I also got my husband to order in pizza. Let's see. We've been home, what, 4 days? Probably longer. That seems crazy. We got home last Wednesday and today is Monday. So you guys can math that out because I literally cannot. But what is that? It's somewhere between 3 and 17 days. It falls within that range. But I need to do the dishes. And there's so many piled up that I know I have to do it more than one set of dishes, which breaks my heart. That's what old Beth used to have to do. 2, 3 loads of dishes whilst scrubbing them beforehand, which comes up later. Um, and so I am sad that I have so many dishes to do because now that I'm running my dishwasher on the full 3 hour, extravaganza that apparently it requires to wash dishes, it feels like it takes forever. Whereas before, when I was hand washing first and then letting the dishwasher wash, that's a 59-minute cycle. So that, like, you could do 3 in the time of one, which is math. Look at me, you guys. Oh, I'm doing math. So, whatever. We just need to load this up. I have lacked all motivation lately, but I am saving that story for another time. Well, obviously, because in case you're new, this is me being reasonably good, but backsliding a little bit. I used to be so much worse. So much worse. If you're like, this isn't reasonable, go back like 8 months in my video things. First, go back to the beginning, watch them all, like, comment, subscribe, do all these stuff, and then like go back to the beginning, watch them all again. It's fine. You can take time off if you need. We have PTO for a reason, right? So, anyways, this is me improving, but backsliding. And I do a lot of backsliding, which is understandable. I've had kind of a difficult time of it lately. So, in the not so difficult, I got to travel and it was amazing. And it was so much fun. I went to New York City, I went to California, I went to Texas. And travel is fun. It's just tiring and it's hard being away from home. Um, Those 3 bags that I picked up, those were my Macy dresses. So what we did come back from was a week in Texas for my uncle's funeral. Now, I found out that my uncle had passed when I was in California, and I got online and ordered black dresses from Macy's for the funeral events, and they all came after I was already in Texas. I had to go to Old Navy and buy some dresses. I'm not even going to open those. I already initiated the returns. I'm not going to open them. I'm not going to try them on. I don't need them. They are actually quite bad juju. Those are going back tomorrow because I don't have time for it today. And I did buy a couple Old Navy dresses, and 2 of them ended up not being worn, and I didn't take tags off of anything. So those are actually going to go back as well. One of my black Old Navy dresses worked out really, really well, and it was really light and airy. So I'm going to keep that. I mean, because I can't return it. I wore it. Oh, I like heaped sweat in it. Texas was so much drier. This East Texas. So for everybody who's like, yeah, West Texas is dry. Yeah, I know it's a desert. East Texas isn't. It's swamp butt. However, it is drier swamp butt than Georgia is. Like Georgia is, I can't say that. It's only 6 minutes in. I'm not going to say devil's jockstrap this early in the video, but if it was later in the video, I would definitely say that devil is the devil's jockstrap level of humidity. So, anyways, they're like neighbors, right? So when I was in East Texas, I was talking to my family and I was like, it's a little bit drier. Like I'm appreciating the dry. And they laughed. And I was like, no, I'm not joking, guys. It feels drier here. And then they all sobbed for me. They wept because of how humid Georgia is. Okay, so something in my kitchen smells. Shocking, I know. So we had to light that candle. I ordered a continual glucose monitor, not because I have diabetes, maybe, I don't know, not really according to my glucose, but I am starting on my health arc. We are going to Health Yourself at the beginning of the year. Okay, look, Kesha runs over to get her food from Calvin and then immediately runs back to go see what Leroy has. And Kesha's trying to eat Leroy's dry food. She doesn't have teeth. And then Leroy, I don't see him go over, but he does. He goes over to eat Kesha's food. And see, she's coming back and I'm showing her, I'm like, here is your food. It's right here. And at some point they swap again and I get pissed. So mad. They stop eating each other's foods. So all right. I did get a continual glucose monitor just because I am doing a health arc. I'm going to lose 25 pounds in 2025 because that cracks me up. And I'm not going to do anything if it doesn't alliterate. And I just wanted extra information. And now it feels very frivolous, but I did. So I am on day 3 of doing Hard 75, which we'll see if I'm on day 3 again in the near future, but day 2.5, let's say. And I'm going strong. I haven't given up in 72 hours, so that's nice. Yeah, but I'm kind of doubling down to this because my uncle's passing was awful and also I mean, he was quite old. Well, not quite old. He was 78, which is, I feel, a decent lifespan, a decent run of it. However, probably some dietary factors could have supported him a little bit better, right? Like he didn't pass from the heart attack that he got. He passed from other complications, which was incredibly unfortunate and very sad and very scary, right? So I am feeling a lot more recommitted. When people pass, you confront your own mortality a little bit more and you start really thinking hard about your lifespan. What do you want? And I have to live forever because my kids are autistic and they're going to need me for forever. And so that's why I'm checking my blood sugars. Yay. All right. So we have the first load of dishes are obviously in, and now I'm going to do the island. And here's where I'm like, I wonder if I could get away with just like not doing the back half of my kitchen. Clearly it's a disaster. I get overly satisfied with the fact that this fits. Watch. See, look, I'm checking. Little tippy tap. It's empty. Give it a shake. Barely fits, but it does. And I can put the scooper back in. That made me so happy. And then I don't wash off that little funnel thing because only coffee touched it and coffee's going to touch it in the future. And I don't care anymore. So it doesn't matter to me. Um, but I do need to go get peaches. And when I go to can the peaches, I will wash the coffee remnants off of that funnel. Also, today, what we're going to do together as a team, we are going to, which also you suck it as a teammate because I did all of it by myself, which is rude. It's like a group project, but I'm partnering with me of the past who just doesn't do any of the group work and puts her name on it later because I didn't put a lot of effort into school, which is fine because all I do is trophy wife now. So that goes to show that if you don't put efforts into school, it's fine. Nothing happens. Everything works out in your favor, anyways. So, congratulations, me. What? Oh, yeah. So, we're going to redo my decor. We're going to switch over to Americana, even though it is well past the 4th of July. This is my summertime, my deep summer is what I like to call it, from July on. And I didn't have time to do anything in June. I wasn't about that life. I could have gotten it done before the 4th of July. I just didn't want to. I was not in the mood. It was so much I was not in the mood lately. Like we lit off like 7 fireworks and we are just like, well, happy birthday, America. And then just wandered off. And that was what we did. We didn't do a barbecue. Did we order pizza? Did we eat oven pizza? Maybe we just had chicken that we made in the Ninja. But like we didn't do much for the holiday. We just kind of hunkered in. Um on Sunday, was Sunday yesterday? I don't really know. My husband was having a hard time sleeping. I'm having a hard time sleeping. I think mine is the perimenopause of it all. And now I've decided that I am going to just lean into my 3 a.m. side quest when my body's like, hey, let's get up and do stuff. Because that's how we used to do things way back in the day. And I think my body is just like yearning for the 1500s. It wants life before electricity. It's also yearning for tiramisu, but we can only give in to one thing at a time. And so I'm giving into 1500s vibes. And I just get up and I wander around in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. and I'm trying to be fine with it. Being like, oh, I love my house. I love my stuff. Look at my pets. What are you guys doing when we're sleeping? Leroy thinks it's amazing. And I like to wander around. What I don't like is my 3 a.m. side quest when it's my limbs are like tingling. Does that make sense? Okay, does anybody else feel this? It feels restless, like kind of like restless leg syndrome, but it's like restless arms and legs, and like all of your muscles are just like, let's do activities. And it makes you get up. And if I get up and I stretch and I do get some more blood flow in all of my limbs, I can go back to sleep. What is that? I hate that. What is that? I've been eating more magnesium and taking some melatonin. I My vitamin D should be good. I am drinking my electrolytes, so I have the potassium in there and also magnesium. Too much magnesium, maybe? I don't know. What is that? What is making me get up at 3 a.m. with tingly body syndrome? So, why am I telling you this? Does it even matter? Nope. So, there's the end of that story. Um, Oh, okay. And so then I was like, maybe I need to clean my room. I need to clean my room for a sponsored video, anyways. And I would go in and just like not do, like, I did the walkthrough, the first like videoing, where I show you the starting line. And then I sat down again and played on my phone. I could not piece together more than 3 to 5 minutes of doing anything. And so that was just really hard for me. And today was the first day that I had continuous energy, which thank goodness, because I really needed to get this done. But I'm finally over the hurdle of it is grief. It's a lot of grief, but like I'm not that. Oh, look, this is the Disney pin, you guys, that Calvin and I worked so hard to get. It's very cute. Sorry, spoilers if any of you guys were desperately looking for the 70th anniversary Disney pin and you didn't want to see what it looked like. I guess I should have given you a spoiler beforehand, but I didn't. I don't know. I'm just in a different stage of grief, which is nice. And so I can unpack my suitcase, I can unpack my backpack. And I also, oh my gosh. So one of the things I just put away with my backpack that I didn't really show you, it is a airplane foot hammock. And so it's like a clicky, what do you call it? You buckle it in the tray table. So you put your table down real quick and you buckle the straps and then you put your tray table back up and lock it. And then it goes down and there's a little foot hammock. So if you are short like I am, you have somewhere to rest your feet and it's not nearly as miserable. It just feels so much better. And after I bought that, I love it so much. So that's what I was putting away. And now some of these clothes are clean and I took them out of my suitcase when I got home. Some of these clothes were clean, folded, and then we did not pack them to go to Texas. So they've been out and the pets have been sleeping on them. So they are no longer clean, but they are folded. And some of these clothes are dirty. You know, that whole hamper that's clean. I've been washing dishes. Frick. I've been washing clothes and putting them in that hamper, but I haven't been able to make it over the hurdle of folding, which I told you guys earlier, which is fine. I'm repeating myself and that's okay. So I finally was like, okay, if we sit and fold these clothes, we can wash more clothes, which that's just how life works. You just constantly doing laundry and dishes. But I didn't want to, but I was like, okay, let's get these folded instead of just throwing them in my room and then pretending that they don't exist. Let's fold them now and then I can do the whole living room and actually have it done. I am a lot of this reverting back to bad habits where some of the stuff that I'm taking off screen, I am just putting in my entryway. My entryway is catastrophic at this point, and I'm just not in the mood to do anything about it, honestly. Um, it's just a lot of bad habits are coming back. I am throwing things where it can't be seen or it's technically in a different zone, so I don't have to care about it anymore. Laundry room, same way. I put a lot of stuff just in the room where I'm like, new room, don't have to deal with it. But some things I did put away, like my suitcase, I put it all the way in my attic, which was incredible. And then when I took down the decor, I also put that back up in the attic. I went to my attic like 3 times. And so some things I am new bathing where I am following through, putting things away, doing different things. Like I put all of my clothes away just now. I put um it's not linen, it's the towels and the hand towels. I put that away. My husband's stuff, still not putting his crap away. He can deal with it. My kids are gonna fold their clothes, which is fine. So I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so one thing that I do want to do, I wanted you to see that I was taking all these dark clothes and putting them in the hamper. I moved the camera just so you could see me do this part. So I could be like, ta-da, look, I'm putting clothes in a hamper. I actually go and I wash these next, which is quite lovely. I do go and get a few more things. See? A lot of those are my husband's things. Also, where are my workout pants? I have one pair of my maroon workout pants. And since I've been going for walks outside in Georgia, I need at least 2 pairs of workout pants. I can't do shorts, you guys, because they climb up and then my thighs rub together. And then the entire walk is me trying to get my shorts back down and my thighs hurt at the same time. So don't even offer me shorts. I don't want to hear it. But I did have swooshy, like not silky, like workout materially close to where when my thighs rub together, you can't even tell. It's just whoosh, 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 and that's glorious, right? I can't work out in my bad butt pants from Walmart because they're just a little too hot. And so where are my workout pants? I know where one set is. And so here I even looked through my daughter's drawers to be like, did you accidentally think they were your pants and you stole them? I need to look through my husband's drawers. Maybe he's doing it because we're in a laundry fight right now. And so he maybe stole my other pants. But I have one pair of pants and I'm not pulling sweaty, damp pants back on for the second time. But I don't want to buy more clothes, you guys. I'm tired of spending money. I spent so much money last month on travel and Disneyland and fun and memories and then, bullshit and stuff like that. Like, I would like to maybe save money this month, but I might could need to buy another pair of workout pants. I just want to know who stole them. Who broke into my house and stole my pants? Was it because I wasn't fitting in them that well anymore? And so you guys were like, if we steal her workout pants, she'll buy slightly larger pants and nobody has to deal with that. Well, too bad. I'm going to buy the same set. I'm going to buy the same size, whether or not it fits me. And then I will complain and be like, no, it's fine. I'll lose weight and then I'll fit into them. And that's what I'm going to do with all of my clothes all the time until I die. So could you break back into my house and give me back my pants, please? It makes me sad. Also, since I'm in the realm of complaining, which I'm never not, my one shoe on my right foot started acting weird. At one point, it was like, "Ooh, do you want a blister on your heel?" Which made me sad. And then this walk, it was like, "Do you want the top of your foot to hurt?" Why is that particular shoe against me? Why is it mad at me? Only the right shoe. Left shoe, brilliant. I love it. It fits so well and it's so supportive and so happy. Right shoe, ton of crap. Okay, one thing I do want to address, my dogs are shaggy and they do need haircuts. They really, really do. I just can't bring them back to my old groomer. So, previously, I had been taking my dogs to a groomer. A lot of you guys know this, but maybe some people don't. And she nicked Leroy in his tiny little bean bag and it became infected. And I was sad because she never said, "Hey, I accidentally cut your dog." She just, it was not even spoken about. But I went to the vet and they're like, "It looks like he got cut maybe while he was being groomed a few days ago." I'm not sneezing, you shut up. Um, and and then it became infected and everything scabbed over and he had to get antibiotics and he was sad. He wore the comb of shame for way too long. And it was an event. Well, I was like, okay, well, things happen. So I was taking them back to the same groomer, and the dogs really resisted. Like, I had to drag them. They dug in all 4 feet. Both of them did. And they were just like, no, 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 no. One of my really good friends, she uses the same groomer, and her dog got cut. And the groomer never said anything to her. And she discovered it later where she's like, oh my God, you're cut. And so we were both like, okay, well, that's it. We're going to get a new groomer. And so I haven't yet. I hadn't. And I was messaging her and I even called my vet. I tried to get recommendations. I was asking everywhere. There just doesn't seem to be another groomer available. So she also struggled. She couldn't find a new groomer. So she brought her dog back to her to give it one last try. And her dog's inner thigh on the back leg was sliced in 3 different locations. And so clearly, I just can't take them back. I think what I'm going to end up doing is going to like PetSmart or Petco, whatever version I have here. I think they do grooming there. That's going to be what I end up doing right now because they are so, so shaggy. I can't groom them myself. I don't have the skill set, and it is a skill set. That's why I don't cut my own hair. We're not doing COVID shit over here. We're just trying to exist. So I'm probably going to have to take them there, and I don't care how they look. I just don't want them cut. And that's sad, but that's my standard at the moment until I can find maybe they're wonderful. Maybe that will be my new groomer, but I am going to keep trying to look around. I would rather have a small business groomer than, you know, a big corporation groomer. All right, so we're finally changing out the decor. And luckily, because I just went on that rant of how much money I've spent doing things and how I need to save money, my husband has the family car. We're a 1-car family, and before we left to go to Texas, we dropped his car off at work and then never picked it up again. So he had to take family car to work, and then he was dropped off at lunchtime, which comes up later. And so I don't have a car. Otherwise, I probably would have gone to Hobby Lobby, to be honest, because I'm like this little garland here, it's pretty beat up and sad looking. It's just sad. Look at it being all sparse. Of course, you can't really because I decided to do this as far back as humanly possible, so you can't actually see my decor. But I need more. But luckily, I didn't have a car, so I didn't get more. I do try to source. Hold on. Okay, yeah, no. I do try to source different decorations from like my entryway and swap out seasonally there. And I do have two things that I love very much. I think I'm getting. Nope, I just put the globe right there. Oh, also, I didn't realize this. Look at sweet potato. Oh, I'm finally putting away my St. Patrick's gnomes. And then I left this in here. Look at sweet potato. She's in that wreath, being cute and like chewing on things. But okay, one of those things is a US Marshal thing that Mark was given. The other one, that's the US Navy sailor, like the World War II, the famous kiss, where it's the sailor and the nurse and they're kissing. That was gifted to my grandparents. My grandpa was in the Navy, and I got it after they both passed. And it's just cute and perfect, and I love it. So I'm trying to balance things out. It doesn't feel great to me. It feels really, really sparse. So all the minimalists, you're welcome. Look at me. Oh, I'm a minimalist. I'm the best. But it just doesn't look like enough. I want more things. I don't need more things. I have enough things. It's fine. My decor's fine. I have enough things. And I'm going to go crazy over Halloween. So it's okay. It's okay. We can do this. So I've given up fluffing the back of the pillows because Kesha's going to ruin. I'm not sneezing. Shut up. Leave me alone about that. But Kesha's just going to ruin them anyway. So I'm like, whatever. They can look crappy. And I do like that I threw one thing into the kitchen island and then immediately walked into the kitchen island to put the other things down. Like, could have just brought everything in. So that's, I love that blanket. It makes me so happy. And then my little cream blanket that I have, I call it a Blankie Supremo. I have several. I dropped a lot of food on that over the weekend. A lot of food didn't make it fully into my mouth and then, tumbled down onto that blankie. So it absolutely needed to be washed. And it is. It's currently in the wash. So I feel pretty good about that. Okay. Everything. Yes, now it's going to go in the laundry room. Everything feels a little bit grimy still because there's just been a little bit of pet hair and just things on the couch. So I'm going to be extra fancy and we are going to vacuum off the couch eventually. Thought it was a lot sooner. Oh, I already did it. Oh, okay. Spoilers, guys. I vacuumed off my couch. You can tell that I fully pay attention to what I'm doing. I'm a professional. Look at me YouTubing so good, you guys. Oh, I plan out what I'm going to say. This is all scripted. Scripted several times and edited. Oh my God, did I edit? I wrote everything out. I plan ahead. I'm not just as surprised as you guys are whenever I said use guys. I think maybe I spent too much time. Those 3 days in New York City got me going with the use guys. What? Oh, I want to wash that rug. That rug is gross, but I do think it works still. We're going to keep it in the living room. What's funny was the other day, I drove to the laundromat where I have my rugs cleaned because I was like, I don't know where that rug is, the one that we just put away. And I went and I asked, I was like, listen, I dropped off a rug here. I'm pretty sure maybe. Do you still have it? Because that happened to me a few months ago. I showed up, got my rugs, and she's like, do you want the 2 other rugs that you've left here for several months? And I was like, what are you talking about? My upstairs playroom rugs, I just left. I forgot they even existed and I left them there for months. And she was like, do you want them? And I did want them. So I thought that was happening again. And I went and we looked through her inventory. I really like her a lot. I get really attached with like the people I see at the places I go to a lot. Like I really like the lady at the laundromat and I really like the lady at the cardboard dump sites. They just make me super happy. But we looked through all the inventory, we couldn't find it. She apologized, I apologized, and I went home and I went into my living room and it was on the floor. It was there. I'd never taken it in. It had been in my living room and I saw it and I left my house and went on an adventure to go find it. But that's fine. So, okay, so I have Leroy's ball. It came out, right? I will show you in a minute if I don't get distracted telling myself stories. I did not know Leroy did this one thing. You'll never believe what this dog does next. Clickbait. Oh, maybe I should title it. I should title my video clickbait of you'll never believe what this dog does next. You guys would believe it. It's a very dog thing. He doesn't fly. He doesn't speak to me in English. He can barely see out of his tiny little shaggy eyes. My poor little man. Okay, so he goes and he finds it and he'll bring it to us in a moment. See? All right. Now, he really thinks, watch, he really thinks I'm about to pay attention to him, but I don't. So I didn't know he boops with his nose. Look at his little tail going. He's just waiting for me. And I am waiting for it. And then, huzzah! And he goes and he gets it. I thought I would be able to boop it a lot harder, but I didn't. But look, he boops again. I didn't realize watch. I didn't know that he boops balls towards me. Honestly, because usually when he and I play with the ball, I make him drop it in my hands because I'm a jerk who sets rules that don't matter when I'm playing with animals. I make him drop it in my hands and then I throw it again because in my mind, if he doesn't bring it, put it in my hand, maybe he's tired of running and getting it. But if I keep throwing it, he will exhaust himself and then like throw out his hips. Because I saw a TikTok that said that once. And so we never had the opportunity where he just boops things towards me and it was incredibly cute and I loved it so much and I wanted to dedicate time to you seeing that. My nest is kind of gross, but we have seen worse. And I'm really glad I didn't try to also carry both cups of coffee with me. One of them was new, one of them was only 1 day old. So that's not terrible. And then also another thing I started doing is I started bringing Leroy and Kesha to the dog park, but nobody is ever there. And it breaks my heart because we're really excited. I want them to have fun. What happened when I was in Texas, my dad and I went to the dog park with his dog, Nemo, who is a schnauzer. And I loved it. It was really cute. All of the dogs were like friends and all of the adults like knew each other and talked. And I just thought it would be a really nice, pleasant thing to do. But so far it's just been me lonely and my dogs peeing on everything because some dogs have to be there because my dogs feel aggressively like they need to pee on everything. So I don't know. How do I find when the dog park's popular? And don't say just keep checking because that is annoying. I want to know before I go. But I will just keep checking. Not today. Today is almost over. But also I didn't have a car. Maybe tomorrow. I have 20,000 billion things to do tomorrow. And I'm taking you guys with me. But maybe tomorrow that will be one of the 20,000 billion things we do together. Oh my gosh. So I think I said it on a live stream. Maybe I had to have said it on my live stream. While we were going, so my uncle's funeral, we had funeral mass because we're all Catholic. And then, so we had the wake beforehand, then we had funeral mass the next day. And then because it's a large cemetery and like everybody's getting buried there all of the time, and we needed military honors, we didn't bury him until like the next week. It was so long. So we were in Texas for 1 full week. Ow, hold on. I got to move my foot. Okay. Oh, I sat on my foot for so long, so weird. On the way to the burial services with military honors, I got a text message from my bank because somebody had stolen my debit card info. Yay. So, that was really pleasant. And I was like, no. And so the only option you have is to get a new card. So yeah, I was like, that wasn't me. And they're like, great, we canceled your card. And so now tomorrow I still don't have a new card yet. I need to figure out everything that is on my card because I won't pay. Like everything needs to be on auto pay or I simply will not pay. It's terrible. And I've gotten into a lot of trouble with that. But it's out of sight, out of mind. And honestly, it's out of mind that I need to pay my electric bill. It's out of mind that I sometimes need my trash picked up. Although that's a whole different conundrum. So we had to figure out what is on my debit card and change that over to something else. I need a debit card. That would be nice. I need to take that rug to the laundromat. We need to take my dresses from Macy's to UPS to drop off, but also the dresses from Old Navy that we didn't wear back to Old Navy to exchange. I need to get my nails done. They're like crazy long. Like I feel like Wolverine, but I'm like Meg on Family Guy when they all became mutants and hers were just that her nails grew. That's who I am. Sad. Um, okay, so I clearly start giving up at the kitchen table, but I do force myself to do this last part. And now we can see me getting back into kind of not great habits. I'm sure it's a lot of grief and leftover emotions and stuff like that. So I checked all of the dishes to see if I felt like they were clean enough. Most of them made it through, a couple didn't. And then I let my daughter empty the dishwasher. But then when we go back, I do get really anxious about whether or not my dishes are getting clean and I can't really shake it. So I do start pre washing some of my dishes and I check the filter in the dishwasher and I just start feeling very untrusting of the whole dishes process. And I struggle with the cups, but I am able to get a lot of the dishes, the plates and such. Those are able to go in without me scrubbing them. I don't fill a sink full of water. I just run some. Why am I telling you this while I'm doing floor crap? You guys will see in a second. We'll loop back to it. Um, and then let's just talk about what I need to do tomorrow. I need to do 2 workouts, 45 minutes each. And then I think that's it. I think that's all I need to do that day, which is nice. I have groceries I ordered. As soon as I get this video up, I'm going to go pick up the groceries. And I don't think I need to do more grocery shopping, but maybe, oh my God, I need to clean out my fridge because a lot of that food is fine. And a lot of that food should have been tossed before I went on a trip, but I didn't have time for that. And so I didn't. Ugh, gross. Okay. So that's another thing we need to do tomorrow. That reminds me, I need to drink a little bit more water. Okay, what am I doing? Oh, I was like, you know what? Let's get another mason jar and we're going to put our 4th of July decor on the table. That's not a table, that is a countertop. And I just feel like there's something so American about sunflowers and mason jars. But I also feel like somebody's going to be like, also in Spain, we're like super into mason jars and sunflowers. And I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, Spain. But we would have that argument in Spanish or Castilian, depends on what part of Spain you're in. All right. So here you can see, oh, also I deliberately didn't pick up these clothing things until you guys could see it again. There was another point where I was like, oh, I should pick these up. And then it's like, no. Let's move the camera so they could watch me pick them up. So you're welcome. You didn't miss that part. I don't know what it was about me focused on like, I need them to see me pick up the laundry or they won't know that I did it. Oops. All right. I could have left this back part of the kitchen. I could have just said, okay, guys, I'm sick of your crap. I'm going to leave now. But I didn't because I am a professional. And no, I didn't eat any of that pizza because I am trying to eat keto. And it made me sad. Although I do love most keto foods. And it turns out that I don't really miss breads that much, which is a weird thing to say, but I don't. Like, I just want to eat more fat all of the time. Like, I wish I had more lard, and then I would make cracklins, and then I would eat that until I threw up. The other night, which was probably last night, I was scrolling through Instagram. You know how Instagram has like little, it's either videos or it has words. Yeah. So it was a word one. And it was like um, a mom who takes her kid to the doctor, and the doctor's like, "What's the problem here?" And the mom looks at the kid and says, "Go ahead, sweetie. Go ahead and tell the doctor." And then the 5-year-old's like, "I eat cookies until I throw up." And then the mom's like, "Not why we're here, but yes, that's true." That's how I'd feel about crackling. All right. Now I'm letting the water run and I am pre-washing my dishes. It's not great, but it's not the worst. We've historically, I am way, way worse when it comes to dishes, but I am really struggling here. I think I take this cup out and I wash it a couple different times before it gets in there. Um, and I have a couple go rounds with my coffee mugs, but for the most part, I shouldn't keep giving it. It's not great, guys. I didn't do, but now I see it. I see it. I didn't see it in the moment. To be honest, I didn't see it in the moment. It was when I was reflecting back and editing this together. Because remember, I did the experience and then I watched myself do it while I edited it for you guys. And now I'm watching it again so I could tell you about it. And then I get to watch it again when I put my voiceover onto it. And then I get to watch it one last time when I upload it and I put ad spots in it. I get to watch this a lot, which is really good for my self-esteem when my outfits look like this. Hey, Cass, remember when you said it wasn't the cut of the shirt, it was the shape of the Beth that make me look fat? Remember when you said that? It was pretty funny. So yeah, now I have to check the filter because I think maybe the filter's disgusting and that nothing's going to get clean. And I don't know. I think this round of dishes is probably done washing and I could go check it if I needed to. I'm going to try really hard not to check it and just let my daughters put it away and then be blindsided by dirty dishes in the cabinets. I don't know. I'm trying, guys. Some of these things that I'm washing is like it had bacon grease in it, and I just can't see how bacon grease can get swished all through the dishwasher and not leave everything bacon greasy. So that pre-clean, that's not insanity. That's pragmatism, probably, maybe. Doesn't matter. I can't hear you guys say anything. So, and I'm going to block the phrase pre-washing your dishes is insanity, not pragmatism in the comments. So that won't even load. Dorks. All right. So we're getting this in. Feeling pretty good about this angle. Sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. But it's only 2 rounds of dishes because remember, dishes that fit in your sink don't count. And now we have to hand wash dishes. I think what that was me grabbing tissues and then blowing my nose secretly. I'm just kidding. I never would. And then I go into my laundry room and then pop a bunch of pills like methamphetamines. And now I'm re-energized. It wasn't me going into the laundry room to blow my nose out of your line of sight. And I didn't clip out a bunch of me doing that earlier because I just kept doing it in front of the camera because I wasn't thinking. All right. What else do you guys want to talk about? It's only been 44 minutes of me solidly yapping at you. Bet it passed so fast. You guys are like, oh, 44 minutes felt like 2 seconds. Oh, okay. So when we were flying back from Texas, we annoyingly, we were at our gates and I was just so tremendously exhausted. And so since I had my husband with me, I don't have to pay attention to any personal security. So here's the thing. This is kind of a pivot. I love my husband and I think he's amazing, right? And I think he's incredible and I would never want to complain about him. But all I want to do is if I ever come back, I want to come back as a man who is on a family vacation and I want to have a wife that in the same amount of time that it takes me to pack my bags and get dressed for, I don't know, let's say an interment ceremony with military honors in Dallas, I'm not thinking of anything in particular. I would like to see my wife get up, pack all of the kids, strip all of the beds, get all of the kids to shower and change into funeral clothes, clean the upstairs, clean the bathroom that they used, wash herself, get herself dressed in funeral clothes, make breakfast for everybody, and pack her own stuff and start a load of laundry. Same amount of time. I want to experience that. Because, like, it's incredible to me. It's incredible to me. And then I had all of the luggage, and my dad's like, does this need to go in the car? And I was like, probably, but I did everything else. So I'm not about that life. So yeah, it's a trade-off. So I don't pay attention to my personal security or anything when I'm out in public with that man. So he was, I don't know, making sure nobody killed me. And I was napping in the terminal. Felt great. And all of a sudden, like, he wakes me up and he's like, hey, we're supposed to be boarding and nobody is at our gate. Like, no one was at our gates. And so we find out that our gate moved. And so we're like, oh God, grab your stuff, kids. And so, like, we're hustling to the next gate. And that guy, the guy who was working the gate, he was done with people. Everybody sucked and he was done with it. And he didn't have to care anymore. He, like, ignores us for 2 solid minutes and then finally goes, do you have a quick question? Which I love that phrasing. And we're like, this is supposed to be our gate? Okay, hold on. Also, Mark and I are fighting. And after this, he comes home real quick. He's dropping off the car and then going back to work. And I go, you didn't kiss me. And I sent several adult words to him. And then editing it back, he did kiss me right there. So I had to text later. I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry. Evidence shows that you did indeed kiss me. I just thought he was coming back again. I didn't realize it was that quick. I was halfway through a story to him. So anyways, we're at the gate where the guy doesn't care anymore. And he's like, not only is it not this gate, it's not this terminal. And so we had to do a bonkers sprint to a new terminal. And DFW is not a very tiny airport. It's huge and terrible. And we barely made it. It was just like a few more moments. We were one of the last to board. And that was a real treat. So the moral of the story is, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't trust him with my security because he clearly almost didn't get us on the plane. So what is he good for? He barely gave me a smooch. This is terrible. But you know what? I'm going to divorce him or poison him. One of the two. Then we'll get our divorce arc. I'm going to make so much money. So I am tired of doing everything. And this is the last little bit. And I'm like, ooh, last little bit, right? Pretty phenomenal. I don't know why I'm doing this with one hand on my hip. I guess it makes me feel fancier. Like, what do I do with my other hand? Nothing good besides wipe my face. I brace myself against the counter. Okay, hold on. I'm telling you, I know it's coming. I just don't know when it's coming. I think there's like a little bit of jelly or something. And so I'm really trying to go over the spot. And it died. It died. And so I imagine what happened there was probably like Xenu or somebody was like, you know what, Beth? Don't worry about this. You don't have to clean mop anymore. Just get the large bits out and then you can be done. So Jesus took the wheel. He said no more mopping and I abide. When the universe tells me what to do, I abide. I am going to get the rest of this little chunky stuff up because also I'm tired of things attaching to my feet. That's really been bothering me today. And look at how much there is. There's so much junk. But I don't have to mop. I'm not mopping. That also on our to-do for tomorrow, mop the kitchen. So I put my springy mats up. These are my summer fall mats because they're blue and orange. And I guess that's the colors I want. They clash horribly with that star-spangled thingy. But here's the final results. Again, my camera is not in the mood for walkthroughs. So you're getting herky jerky, and that's fine. We're okay. The bar is low. And if you've made it all the way to the end, your bar is even lower and you just simply don't care. We just love each other for the love that we have. But look, it's so much better. I'm so much happier. And I do like that I'm starting to show you this. And then I'm like, remember the coffee bar? Didn't do crap with it, but I wanted to show you for sure so you knew that I did not clean that thing. I'm not doing it tomorrow. We have too much to do tomorrow. We should also teach the cats how to eat it out of their things tomorrow. Dishes in the sink do not count. It's jerking a lot here because I'm being attacked, not due to sneezes. Ninja came in and started just punching me. So the footage is a little bit shaky. And we're looping back around to show you my nest. I'm going to cozy up in there so stinking hard. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I love you. Bye.